finally here. It is so nice finally getting out into the woods, getting away from the noise and the, you know, the smog and such from the city. But, you know, my truck here, it is parked on kind of a hill, and who can really trust the parking brakes in these old trucks? Better put a wheel chock down. There we go. That's much better. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Rugged Adventures. Super glad to have you guys here. If you guys are subscribed to this channel, and why wouldn't you be, right? You know that I picked up this Hi-Point C9 9mm pistol from a pawn shop, I don't know, about a month ago or so. And we did a video on this about, you know, how I thought about it and all the things I thought. And, you know, this isn't a great gun. It's not really probably a good gun. It just sort of is. And the best part about this is it really doesn't try to do anything else besides that. And even though that gets some hate, I think that's a good price point and a good thing to do for people, because to get any gun under $200, brand new, hell, to get anything, even a cart of groceries right now for under $200 is a pretty good deal. But if you guys remember, the reason why I was buying this is because we were going to torture test this thing, put it through its paces, because another thing it's known for, other than low price, is it's pretty durable, even though it may not work in the greatest of fashion. But what I did was, before we started this, I went and I tore it down completely. I cleaned it really well. That's sort of one of the downsides about this, is how you got to punch out this roll pin back here, right there in the back. That's not normally something that you have to do. Usually, most guns these days are toolless, and you don't have to do that, so that was kind of a pain in the butt. But we'll put a few shots through it first, just to show that it's working to the best of its ability, considering it's a, you know, Hi-Point pawn shop gun. Then we'll get to the fun stuff. So we've got 4 in here, just real quick. This is just some cheapo Sergeant Major 115 grain. These are just Full Metal Jacket bullets, nothing fancy about them. So they should cycle pretty well in the Hi-Point. You know, there's been some people saying you got to polish the ramp and whatever. You know, whatever. We'll see how this goes. And I did the thing again where you can slide the safety up very easily with your thumb, and that really has not been great with this pistol. 4 shots. Do I have 5 in there? I didn't think so. It didn't hold the slide back open when it got done, so, you know, again, I don't know if that's just a function of this particular pistol, or if it's, you know, as far as it being a Hi-Point, or if it's just because it's a used pawn shop job. So let's get on with the fun stuff. So first off, we're just going to do a basic durability test. We have a magazine loaded up with 10 of these things, and we're going to go ahead and put the mag in, but we're not going to cock it, because I am not 100% sure that this thing won't go off just with me screwing around with it. And then we're going to take the thing and just throw it. We're going to throw it a bunch of times, and I'm going to watch where it goes this time versus the last video, so we can figure out where we can pick it up from. Maybe we throw it at a subathon board. You know, that's still going on. Be sure to feed a hungry gun by, you know, subbing to this channel. But all right, that was pretty good. What if we take it and physically throw it at some of these targets here? We got this one. Looks like the mag came out. Let's pop that right back in there. How about these chunks of concrete? And the mag just fell out again. Let's see if that's going to be an issue for us. Nope, it's in there. We'll throw it at these concrete blocks. Missed them. Let's run up the hill. How about this fire pit here? Ton of rocks. Just not too shabby. We have bent the safety here, but you can probably just bend it back and it will be fine. But seems to still operate. Let's go throw it at a pile of wood. That's probably not going to do much more than our rocks did, being that you know, rocks are much more better. But we'll see how that goes. And I tell you what, we'll get this thing back to our shooting range via airmail. So get this down here, and then we'll see if we can throw it all the way into the range from here. Of course, it hits right in the middle. That is just about how it goes. So here's the damage tally so far. We did bend the safety here it bent out, but that was very easy to bend back in. We got a pretty gnarly looking gash there on the top of the slide. Other than that, some bumps and bruises on the back here. All the sights are still on. Those are made out of plastic, and it seems to function. If you put a magazine in it, it's no more harder than it was before, and seems to fire okay. If you put the safety on, it still works. So let's see if it will actually fire. So we have one in here. Let's see if it will actually fire. Put my hearing protection on, and like clockwork, it fired no problem. And that gives me an idea when I say fire. So we found that it's pretty durable. You can throw it around pretty well and it'll fire. The next question that really begs to be asked is, will it fire while it's on fire? So let's check that out. Here we go, trying to shoot it while it's on fire. Safety off. It's hard to squeeze the trigger because I can't get my finger in there. There you have it. It will shoot while on fire.
Yeah, listen. We fucked up.
Well, that didn't exactly go well. We've run into a bit of a problem. We sort of burned away the trigger guard and part of the trigger, so that's sort of the end of the test, kind of. I didn't get to all the things that I wanted to do. I probably should have done them in a different order, but you know, you get excited to do something. The thing is that I took this apart. I couldn't exactly find what exactly wasn't working. There's a trigger linkage here that seems to all be there. I can only imagine that there's just something out of alignment with this. Otherwise, the gun works fine. Mags go in, they release. The mag release got a little burnt out, but it still works. It functions okay as far as the slide racking, but nothing from the trigger here. This has nothing to do with it being a high point or anything like that. It obviously works fine as a gun. This is well outside of what anyone ever intended it to be used for, so I think we all knew where this was going in the end. But before we get out of here, because I did think that we'd have much more things to do, I have brought my 12 gauge as well. We'll put a couple rounds of birdshot into the side of this, see how well at least the body holds up, and then we'll go from there. One of the nice things about cedar trees is they all have these really nice pistol holders just already built into them. So you can just put your handgun on there and it'll hold it in place. Sounds good. Now we have a nice way to shoot this with a 12 gauge. All right, so we'll give this a shot. This is going to be a Mossberg 500 12 gauge shooting pellets, just birdshot, target load type of stuff, versus a Hi-Point C9. Well, guys, I'd say that is the end of the Hi-Point C9 on this channel. Again, it's kind of a bummer that we didn't get to do all the things that I wanted to do to it. And, you know, the funny thing is, the sights are still on there. Look at that. Isn't that funny? Plastic sights still on there to like 3 or 4, 5 shots from a shotgun. Again, has nothing to do with this being a Hi-Point. This is just the cheapest one that I could find to do this on, and I got that pawn shop experience. I had a lot of fun out here today. Even this is the first time I've ever done anything like this. It's all thanks to you guys and subscribing to allow me to have just disposable money to screw around with projects like this. Again, guys, subathon's going on. It's going on all year, trying to get up to at least 10,000 by the end of the year. So I would appreciate if you'd subscribe down below, hit that like button, helps out the YouTube algorithm. And I will see you guys on the next one.